break-even analysis. So this break-even analysis is going to be about the Berkeley, and it's a movie theater owned by Ed Andrews. It shows old movies and recent independently financed films. The movies appeal to niche audiences, which would not be shown at the multi-screen cinema complex called the Max, located 5 kilometers away. So as a sole trader, Ed's financial position is deteriorating. Only 40% of films shown at Berkeley return a small profit. The manager at the Max phoned Ed 2 months ago and offered to take over the Berkeley. Ed refused politely. So we have figures of him showing quote-unquote film X. So the capacity of the Berkeley is 1,200 seats per showing. Price of the movie ticket is $12. Fixed cost is $2,000, and it does not include the target profit of $10,000. And it is to be split equally over the 2 showings, and the variable cost per ticket sold is $6. So break even for 1 showing with no target profit. So on the x-axis we have the units of output, and on the y-axis we have sales revenue and costs, and then we have our line of how much units of output and we have. So that's the total revenue, and we have the fixed costs, which is the orange line. We have the variable costs, which is the black line, and basically the variable costs will be added to fixed costs, making it total costs, and that's our break-even point, where total revenue and total costs intersect each other. Therefore our break-even point, or our break-even quantity, is 167 tickets, and our margin of safety is between 167 and 1,200. Therefore our margin of safety is quite large. So to find our break-even quantity, we can use the formula for fixed costs divided by contribution per unit. So 1,000 divided by 6 is equal to 167. That's our break-even quantity, as we've determined that from the graph as well. And our total variable cost is the variable cost per unit times the number of units. As the variable cost per unit is 6 times the number of units, which is 1,200, we get 7,200 as our total variable cost. So the break-even for showing with target profit. So again, we have units of output on the x-axis, sales revenue on the y-axis, and we have our total revenue, which is the green line. Then we have our orange line, which is the fixed costs. And in this case, the fixed costs is going to be fixed costs plus the total costs. And the black line is going to be our previous total costs that we had without including target profit. That would be, move up and add up with our new fixed costs to become fixed total costs with the target profit. And our break-even point would be where total revenue and the total costs with total target profit intersect. Therefore our break-even point is at 1,000 units. And we can use the formula of break-even quantity, so that's going to be fixed costs plus the target profit divided by the contribution per unit, which is going to be 1,000 plus 5,000, which is 6,000 divided by 6, which will give us 1,000. So our break-even quantity is 1,000, and we have determined that from the graph as well. Our total cost is the previous total cost that we had without target profit plus the target profit. So in this case, our total costs is total costs with the target profit. And our total, so that would be 8,200. So the previous total costs plus the new total cost, which is 5,000, is going to give us 13,200. And our break-even revenue is 2,100. And our margin of safety is between 1,000 and 1,200. So we have 200 units in the margin of safety. So total profit calculations. So the total profit without the target profit is the margin of profit, margin of safety times contribution per unit, which will give us total profit. So our margin of safety is 1,033 times 6, which is going to give us 6,193. Our total profit without with the target profit included is going to be the margin of safety times the contribution per unit. So that's going to be 200 times 6, which is going to be 12,000. 1,000, yeah, 1,200. So the commentary on the results, or the conclusion, is without target profit, the break-even point is very low, considering all the units which are to be sold. This means the break-even point can be reached much more easily, and making a profit should be much more easier. And when target profit is added, the break-even point increases a lot, making it harder to reach and much closer to the total units which are to be sold. So this means that the theater would have to sell many more tickets in order to meet their goal of target profit and break even with it. This is significant because it impacts the business's goals and the expected profits. Although is the target profit is met, the total profits for the theater are almost twice as more, which can be really beneficial for Berkeley. So the limitations of the break-even analysis is that it just considers that all units are sold, the external environment is always stable, and it assumes sales prices are constant at all levels of output, and break-even charts can be consuming to prepare, time-consuming to prepare, and only are applied for a single product. Thank you.